you ever stop and think about what the term politically correct actually means, where it comes from, and why some people seem to recoil from it and even use it as a pejorative? I was thinking about something that an old boss of mine told me about some of the workers who came in, who I guessed may have been previously homeless and seemed to struggle with alcoholism and addiction. This led to other problems in the workplace. He said, "Don't judge people because you don't know their story." I had heard judgment spoken of in the context of religion and spirituality my entire life. I had never heard someone phrase it so powerfully. It landed like a bag of hammers, and I have never forgotten it. It reframed the way I thought about judgment and empathy. You see, words have power, and when we speak, before we stop to think about what we are going to let spill out of our mouths, we risk harming people whose stories we do not understand. It's like basic social hygiene. You don't spit on someone, so you don't say something that demeans them either. You see, that's the thing. The original intent of political correctness was an incredible idea, a truly great one. Easy to use, easy to understand. Just think before you speak. That's it. Nothing more to it. Seems easy, right? Why was it called politically correct? Well, if you were a politician, you wouldn't want to put your foot in your mouth publicly in the mainstream media or on a hot mic. This was long before the internet, so you would make sure to exercise caution so as not to say something that had fallen out of favor with the general public at the time. And you had a team of handlers to keep you up to date on how things were evolving. Politically correct. Then, lawsuits brought these ideas into the workplace and into schools, and public consciousness grew. Media empires expanded, culture wars began, fissures formed, and these divides emerged. And one day, we woke up to find that we had built a machine we could no longer control. All of this was never meant to be about censorship, walking on eggshells, or people screaming demands at one another. Pendulums tend to swing like that in the political realm. In this case, over time, some people took political correctness to extremes, especially when the vicious trolls of the internet were unleashed on society, policing every word, publicly shaming people instead of offering helpful education for innocent mistakes, turning dialogue into minefields. This gave opponents the perfect ammunition to mock, attack, and reframe political correctness as tyranny, and the result was that the vast middle ground, the majority of all of us, wound up feeling trapped between the two loudest vocal extremes. The real cost is the distortion this creates. There's polarization where people stop listening to each other because they are far too busy defending their own side, their point of view. There's all of the weaponized language when words become weapons wielded as tools of power instead of sources of connection with each other. And then there's the dehumanization. The very thing political correctness was supposed to prevent comes roaring back, but now it's camouflaged in different clothes. When did we let modern social media lead us as a society to such a point, poised to strike and absent the willingness to forgive when someone simply misspeaks? We need to stop being a society of people who refuse to listen when other people speak, shutting down their point of view at every turn, simply bulldozing others and mowing them down. We've become so intolerant that we are now unforgiving of the simplest of errors, such as when someone misspeaks. If a person makes a misstep, a social faux pas, and then comes hat in hand to make a sincere and humble apology, forgive them. It's not a necessity to begin screeching and demanding that they lose their job, their career, their life, and die homeless in the street because they made an unfortunate wisecrack on social media that a segment of the population took the wrong way and began demanding that they be beheaded in the public square at high noon. We've let the fringe extremists on the World Wide Web drive the narrative tone and influence the thinking of the broad middle class who have much more in common than they do in differences of opinion. And if we will listen more and judge less and give them the grace to come to conclusions on their own, maybe they will let their conscience be their guide when they are alone with only the sound of the whispered voice of their higher self to guide them. When actual political correctness is abandoned, stereotypes flourish. And when it's misapplied, people become afraid to have honest conversations. And either way, real understanding dies. Its original intent was simple: think before you speak. If you misspeak, offer a sincere apology, not some canned garbage filled with legalese that is designed to get you out of hot water. If someone else misspeaks and then they offer you a sincere apology, offer them the grace that is true forgiveness. Let loving kindness cast any memory of their transgression as far as it is from east to west, from one side of the universe to the other. Don't judge people because you don't know their story. And I just want you to remember this: there is a simple human truth behind all of this noise. Political correctness wasn't about controlling speech. It was about remembering that every person has a story you haven't read yet. Know that I love you and that I'm always with you.